Hi, welcome to this new video, and in this one I wanted to get a bit of a palate cleanser after too much time with Project Cars 3 and go back to Assetto Corsa and look at my 5 favourite race cars from Assetto Corsa. Now, what you're watching at the moment is an Abarth 500 Assetto Corsa. It's not actually one of my 5 picks, it's an honourable mention, because I love the little stiffly sprung, bouncy little thing. Single make races with these are just brilliant fun. Strongly recommend giving it a go. So the rules I set myself were quite simple. My top 5 race cars from Assetto Corsa on console. We don't have the pick that you PC guys have the luxury of. And only one per manufacturer, otherwise I'd be tempted to primarily fill it up with Porsches, I've got to be perfectly honest with you. So let's get started. Okay, first up we have the Ferrari 458 GT2. I just absolutely love the way this thing looks, the way it moves, the way it drives. I mean, GT2 class of racing is kind of forgotten now to a large degree, and I don't think it gets the attention it deserves because there are some absolutely fantastic cars that made up GT2, and the inclusion of the 458 GT2 in Assetto Corsa for me really just it's great because, as I say, I do think it is ignored. The car drives wonderfully, sounds wonderfully, you've really got to balance it on the edge, and yeah, it's a fantastic car and one I really enjoy driving a lot. I just wish it had more company in the GT2 class on the console version of Assetto Corsa. Up next we've got the Ford Escort RS 1600. So this is a Mark 1 Escort. Now, reason I've gone for this is, in my view, it is one of the most analogue cars in Assetto Corsa on the console. The way it just communicates to you, the way you can heel and tow it, use a H-pattern shifter just to coax it around. The feedback you get from the steering is just absolutely delightful. It really is. The fact that it revs to 9,000 RPM and just sounds awesome as you're doing it, screaming its way to the red line, doesn't hurt either, and again, this is a bit of an underdog or unknown one. The Mark 1 and Mark 2 Escorts, and this is obviously a Mark 1, are more well known for their rally exploits, and people forget that they were track weapons in their day as well, and this really does just epitomise it, and it's a car that I could just stick on a track in Assetto Corsa and just lap and lap and lap. It really is amazingly good. Next, we've got the BMW M3 E30 Group A, just an absolute classic of a car. Again, one that's high revving, very analogue, very communicative, just a masterpiece in touring car history, and again, a stunning car to drive. ACC replicates this thing wonderfully, from the way it drives to the way it looks when it's moving on track. Just everything about it is just wonderful. As you will have seen from the slow motion bit at the start of this, even when you get it wrong, it looks great, it feels great, and it's just great fun to drive. I think if anybody's surprised to see this one in a top 5 list of race cars in ACC, you've not looked at the track list properly, is my opinion in that. But no, again, I just absolutely love this car. Okay, next up we've got the Porsche 962C Short Tail. Now, being perfectly honest, I would have preferred a 956, but you get what you're given, and the two are close enough. As to why I picked this out of all of the Porsches, well, quite frankly, go and watch Derek Bell's in-car 956 and the lap he does around the Nordschleife, then drop into Assetto Corsa, pick the 962, pick the Nordschleife, and give it a go. See how you stack up to Derek Bell not doing a quick lap, then think about how much time they had to spend doing this in the actual race, and quite frankly your level of admiration for drivers of this car will go through the roof. The limit will not be the car, I can absolutely guarantee you that. The limit will be you, and that's why I love it. It's just the challenge. Am I close to mastering this? Hell no, not even remotely. Do I love challenging myself with this? Absolutely yes. And finally, we have my pick of a GT3 car, and I wanted to include a GT3 car quite simply because I think they're much maligned by an awful lot of people, simply because they run traction control and ABS. Mainly people who don't understand that these systems are operate in a very different way to the way your road car ones do, and extracting the most out of a GT3 car is quite challenging. And I wanted to pick the McLaren 650S for two reasons. One, I'm a massive McLaren fan, and two, because it's a car I love from ACC, having spent an awful lot of time driving one in ACC. I really like it. I just like the way they drive, I like the way they look, and you know, for putting in long stints, they're good solid cars, and put together a good GT3 race in AC, or better still ACC, and you'll have a lot of fun, and that's an often underrated factor. You know, some cars are hideously challenging to drive, some are just great fun to drive, and the GT3s and the 650S in particular for me is just a great fun car to drive. So there we go, that's my top 5, and I'll finish off with another honourable mention. In this case, what is effectively a Porsche Super Cup car. It's, again, just a fun car to drive. Actually, it's quite a challenging little car to drive, because once you step over the limit, it snaps, and that's what makes it enjoyable for me, particularly again in one make series. So those are my top 5 in no particular order at all. Feel free to drop me a comment below on what your top 5 from the base version plus DLC of Assetto Corsa is, so no PC mods please, and yeah, see if you agree or disagree with any of mine. It's a fun thing to do. There's a lot of good cars in Assetto Corsa, and it's hard picking a top 5 race cars out of them, and I think I'll be back to do a top 5 road cars as well. So if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe away and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos get uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.